Your freedom cost everything. Even the truth.
It's midnight when I hear my wife's voice drifting through our bedroom window like poison gas. I'm under the hood of my battered Crown Vic in the driveway, wrench in hand, trying to fix the alternator that's been giving me grief all week. The blue glow from our porch light makes everything look like a crime scene, which seems fitting right about now. Some women stay for convenience, not love, Melissa says into her phone, voice carrying that practiced tone she uses when she's performing for an audience. I can picture her perfectly, sitting cross-legged on our bed in those silk pajamas her sister bought her, phone held at the perfect angle to catch her good side. I wipe my greasy hands on my jeans and pull out my phone. Sure enough, there's her latest Instagram post already racking up likes and comments. The photo shows her looking pensively out our bedroom window, caption reading exactly what I just heard her say. #brave, #authentic, #new chapter. My thumb hovers over the comments section for exactly 3 seconds before I type, "So brave," 2 words. That's all it takes to burn down 12 years of marriage. Within minutes, my phone starts buzzing like an angry wasp. Notifications pile up faster than I can read them. Hearts, fire emojis, people asking if that's really her husband commenting, Melissa's friends jumping in to defend her, random strangers picking sides in a war they don't understand. I grab my duffel bag from the garage, the one I packed 3 months ago when I first found those text messages she thought she'd deleted. Funny how you can live with someone for over a decade and still be surprised by their capacity for stupidity. The front door slams behind me with a satisfying bang. Mrs. Grady's kitchen light flicks on across the street. That old bat probably has her phone ready to document this moment for the neighborhood gossip network. My cab company's office sits 15 minutes away in the part of town where the American dream goes to die slowly. Neon signs flicker half-heartedly above pawn shops and all-night diners. The building itself looks like it hasn't been updated since the Carter administration, but it's mine. Dad left it to me when he died 5 years ago, along with a fleet of Crown Vics that run on hope and duct tape. I let myself in through the back entrance, breathing in the familiar smell of motor oil and stale coffee. The night dispatcher, Tommy, looks up from his crossword puzzle. "Rough night, boss?" "You could say that," and toss my duffel onto the couch in my office. "I'll be staying here for a while." Tommy's been working nights for 20 years. He's seen everything twice and judges nothing. "Coffee's fresh. Made it an hour ago." I pour myself a cup and settle behind my desk, opening my laptop. Melissa's post now has over 3,000 likes and climbing. My comment sits at the top with nearly 1,000 likes of its own. The replies are getting ugly. At Jules in the City, some husbands support their wives instead of mocking them publicly. At Melissa Rising Law, thank you, Jules. Some people will never understand what it means to choose yourself. Jules, Melissa's best friend and the closest thing to a snake I've ever met in human form. She runs some boutique PR firm downtown and treats everyone like they're potential clients or competition. I've watched her manipulate situations for years, always positioning herself as the voice of reason, while stirring up drama behind the scenes. My phone buzzes with a text from my best friend, Mick. "Saw the post, you okay?" Mick owns a boxing gym 3 blocks from here. Ex-heavyweight who never quite made it pro, but can still knock a man senseless if the situation calls for it. We've been friends since high school, back when I thought I'd make it as a musician, and he thought he'd make it as a fighter. Life has a way of humbling your dreams and showing you what you're actually good at. I text back, "Define okay. Want me to come over?" "Nah, just getting started." Because that's the thing about midnight revelations, they're just the beginning. I start scrolling through Melissa's followers, clicking on profiles, reading comments. Amazing how much people reveal about themselves when they think they're being supportive. At Aiden Music Official keeps popping up in her comments, always with the fire emojis and the queen responses. His profile shows a local musician with decent cheekbones and the kind of carefully disheveled hair that takes an hour to achieve. 12,000 followers, mostly young women who think sensitive songwriter types make good boyfriends. I click through his photos. There's one from 3 weeks ago at Rossetti's, the Italian place downtown where Melissa claimed she was having dinner with her law school friend. In the background, barely visible at a corner table, I can make out a familiar silhouette. Same hair, same posture, same way of holding her wine glass like she's posing for a magazine. My coffee tastes like ash. I screenshot the photo and start digging deeper. Social media makes people stupid. They think they're being careful, but they leave breadcrumbs everywhere. A location tag here, a timestamp there, friends commenting on things they shouldn't know about. By 3 a.m., I have a timeline. dinner at Rosetti's, coffee at that pretentious place on 5th Street, a concert at the Riverside Theater where Aiden's band opened for some indie group nobody's heard of, all on nights when Melissa told me she was working late or out with Jules. The sun's coming up when my phone rings. Melissa's name flashes on the screen. Really, David? You're going to air our business online like some teenager? Her voice has that edge it gets when she's trying to sound reasonable while barely containing rage. It's the same tone she uses with difficult clients, like she's explaining something obvious to someone particularly slow. Just commenting on your inspiring post, honey. Isn't that what social media's for? Engagement? This is exactly why we're having problems. You can't be supportive. You can't let me have anything without making it about you. Right. Your very public announcement about our marriage is actually about me making things about me. Got it. I'm trying to work through some things, David. I'm trying to figure out what I want. Seems like you've already figured that out, or should I say who? Silence stretches between us like a tightrope. I can hear her breathing, can picture her calculating her next move. I don't know what you think you know. I know about Aiden. The line goes dead. By noon, my comment has 1,500 likes and the story's taken on a life of its own. Someone screenshot the exchange and posted it to Reddit. A local gossip blog picked it up. Melissa's law firm probably loves having their rising star associate trending for marriage drama. I'm replacing brake pads on cab #7 when my phone buzzes with a message from an account I don't recognize. At Aiden Music Official, we need to talk. Interesting. I wipe my hands and type back. Do we? Meet me at Murphy's Bar, 1 hour. Murphy's sits in the kind of neighborhood where people mind their own business, and the bartender doesn't ask questions. I arrive first and claim a corner booth where I can watch the door. The place smells like cigarettes and broken dreams, despite the smoking ban that went into effect a decade ago. Aiden walks in exactly on time, looking around nervously like he's expecting cameras. Up close, he's smaller than his photos suggest, the kind of guy who looks tough in dim lighting but wilts under scrutiny. He slides into the booth across from me without ordering anything. She didn't tell me she was married. Sure she didn't. I'm serious. I found out from your comment, along with the rest of the internet. I study his face. He's either a better actor than his music suggests, or he's telling the truth. The way his hands shake slightly when he talks makes me think it's the latter. So what do you want? Absolution? Advice on how to steal another man's wife? I want her to pay for making us both look like idiots. Now that's interesting. I lean back and really look at him. Go on. She played us both. Made me think I was special. Made you think your marriage was solid. Now we're both trending on social media for all the wrong reasons. The bartender brings over 2 beers without being asked. Small-town bars have their own logic. What exactly are you proposing? Aiden pulls out his phone and shows me a voice memo app. I write songs, it's what I do, and I've got a lot to say about women who lie to get what they want. Revenge through music, very high school. High school gets attention, high school goes viral. High school ruins reputations. He's got a point. Nothing spreads faster than a catchy song with a personal story behind it, especially when that story involves cheating and betrayal. What's in it for me? You get to watch her squirm. You get to see her perfect little world fall apart piece by piece. And you get to do it without looking like the bitter ex-husband. I take a long pull from my beer. You really think a song's gonna hurt her? She's a lawyer. She deals with conflict for a living. She's also trying to make partner at a firm that represents family-friendly clients. Bad publicity matters in her world. He's done his homework. Melissa's been working toward partnership for 3 years, taking on high-profile divorce cases and custody battles. Her whole brand is built on being the trustworthy advocate for wronged spouses. All right, I'm listening. Aiden grins for the first time since he sat down. I've got studio time booked tomorrow night. You know her better than anyone. Help me write something that'll really sting. We spend the next 2 hours dissecting Melissa's weaknesses. Her need to always be right. Her habit of rewriting history to make herself the victim. The way she uses people's secrets against them when it suits her purposes. By the time we leave Murphy's, we have the bones of something brutal. The next evening, I find myself in a recording studio that looks like it was decorated by someone who learned about music from movies. Exposed brick walls covered in vintage concert posters, mixing board that probably cost more than my car, and enough ambient lighting to make everyone look like a rock star. Aiden's bandmate Jake sits behind the drums looking skeptical about the whole enterprise. You sure about this, man? Once it's out there, it's out there. That's the point, Aiden says, tuning his guitar. Some things need to be said. I watch him work, adjusting levels and testing microphones with the focus of someone who takes his craft seriously. Maybe I misjudged him. Maybe we're both just casualties in whatever game Melissa's really playing. You ready? He asks. I nod toward the microphone. Let's burn it down. The song starts simple. Just Aiden's voice and guitar, telling the story of a woman who builds herself up by tearing others down. By the second verse, Jake joins in with a rhythm that feels like a heartbeat under stress. By the chorus, it's something that could get radio play if radio still mattered. The lyrics are surgical. We don't use Melissa's name, but anyone who knows the story will recognize the details. The lawyer who preaches honesty while living a lie. The wife who posts about bravery while sneaking around. The woman who destroys marriages for a living while destroying her own for fun. Some women stay for convenience, not love, Aiden sings, turning Melissa's own words into an indictment. Some women lie because the truth's not enough. We record it in one take. Sometimes lightning strikes exactly when you need it to. What do we call it? Jake asks. I think about Melissa's hashtags, her carefully curated image, her need to always be the hero of her own story. Call it So Brave. The song drops on a Thursday morning at exactly 9 a.m., time to catch the commuter crowd. Aiden posts it across every platform he has access to, along with a caption that reads, Sometimes the truth needs a melody. So Brave hash. Truth in music, local story. I'm having coffee at the diner across from Melissa's law firm when my phone starts buzzing. The song's already got 100 plays and climbing. Comments are pouring in from people who remember the Instagram drama, connecting dots and sharing theories. Through the diner window, I can see the law firm's lobby. Melissa usually arrives around 9:30, always carrying that oversized bag she thinks makes her look important. Today, she's 20 minutes late and moving faster than usual. My phone rings. Mick's name on the screen. Jesus, David, you really went nuclear, didn't you? Just exercising my right to artistic expression? That's not art, that's warfare. You see the comments? I hadn't looked in the last 10 minutes. The song now has 500 plays and the comment section looks like a battlefield. People are posting screenshots of Melissa's original Instagram post, comparing lyrics to her social media presence and speculating about the identity of everyone involved. Someone's already made a TikTok using the chorus as background music for a slideshow of cheating wife memes. It has 10,000 views. This might be bigger than we thought, I tell Mick. Yeah, well, be careful what you wish for. This kind of attention cuts both ways. He's right, but I'm past caring about consequences. Melissa wanted to play her life out on social media. Now she gets to see how it feels when the narrative slips out of her control. By lunch, the song has 5,000 plays and someone's posted it to Reddit with the title, Local Musician Exposes Cheating Lawyer Wife. The thread has 300 comments and counting. I'm scrolling through responses when I notice a pattern. Several accounts defending Melissa, all created recently, all using similar language. Professional damage control. Jules's handiwork, most likely, at Truth Matters 2024. This is harassment. Posting songs about private relationships is stalking behavior. At Justice for Women. Men who can't handle strong women always resort to public humiliation. At Local Lawyer. Anyone can make accusations in a song. Where's the proof? The last comment gives me an idea. I pull out my phone and scroll back through my photos until I find what I'm looking for. The screenshot from Aiden's Instagram showing Melissa in the background at Rosetti's. I'd saved it weeks ago but never used it. I create a new account, DAR receipts provided, and post the photo with a timestamp comparison to one of Melissa's posts from the same night. She'd claimed to be home with food poisoning. The response is immediate. People start digging through both Melissa's and Aiden's social media, finding more inconsistencies, more evidence of the affair. Someone with too much time and good photo editing skills creates a timeline showing Melissa and Aiden at the same locations on multiple occasions. By evening, local news has picked up the story. Not the affair, that's too salacious for the 6 o'clock news, but the viral song phenomenon. Local musicians' breakup song sparks social media frenzy. I'm watching the coverage from my office when Tommy sticks his head in. Boss, you might want to see this. He hands me his phone, showing a live stream from outside Melissa's condo building. Someone's organized a small crowd of people playing So Brave on portable speakers while holding signs with lyrics from the song. Some women lie because the truth's not enough, reads one poster held by a college-aged girl with purple hair. This is getting out of hand, but I can't look away. It's like watching a building collapse in slow motion. Terrible and fascinating and completely unstoppable. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. "We need to talk, now. M," I text back. "I'm at the office. On my way." 20 minutes later, Melissa storms through my office door like she owns the place. She's traded her usual power suit for jeans and a baseball cap, probably hoping to avoid recognition. Her eyes are red-rimmed and furious. "Are you happy now? Are you satisfied?" "I don't know what you mean. I just helped a friend with his music." "Don't play dumb, David. That song is about me and you know it." "Is it? I didn't hear your name mentioned." "Did you hear your name mentioned?" She starts pacing, hands gesturing wildly. "There are people outside my building. My boss called me into his office. My mother saw it on Facebook." "Sounds like you're famous. Isn't that what you wanted? All those carefully crafted posts, all that personal branding?" "This is different and you know it." "How is it different?" "You put our marriage on social media. I responded. You had an affair. Someone wrote a song about it. Seems like natural consequences to me." Melissa stops pacing and stares at me like she's seeing me for the first time. "When did you become so cruel?" "About 3 months ago when I found your text messages. Or maybe it was 3 weeks ago when you started posting cryptic quotes about leaving your marriage. Or possibly it was yesterday when you decided to make our divorce announcement without actually telling me we were getting divorced." "I never said anything about divorce." "You didn't have to. Some women stay for convenience, not love." Pretty clear message. She sinks into the chair across from my desk, suddenly looking exhausted. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." "Which part? The affair or the public humiliation?" "Any of it. I was confused. I felt trapped. Aiden made me feel alive again. And now? Now he won't return my calls. Now I'm a laughingstock. Now my career is in jeopardy because some song is making me look like a villain." I lean back in my chair, studying her face. For 12 years, I thought I knew this woman. Thought I understood her motivations, her fears, her dreams. Now she seems like a stranger wearing my wife's face. "What did you expect, Melissa? You can't blow up your life on social media and expect everyone else to just watch quietly." "I expected my husband to fight for our marriage instead of destroying me publicly. I expected my wife not to cheat on me and announce it on Instagram." We sit in silence for a moment, the weight of 12 years pressing down between us. "So what now?" she asks finally. "Now you deal with the consequences, just like the rest of us." She stands up slowly, like an old woman. "The David I married wouldn't have done this. The Melissa I married wouldn't have cheated on me." After she leaves, I sit alone in my office, listening to the sound of the city at night. Sirens in the distance, traffic humming past, the occasional shout from the street below. Normal sounds from a world that's suddenly become very complicated. My phone shows 47 new notifications. The song now has 20,000 plays and its own hashtag. #SoBrave is trending locally with people sharing their own stories of betrayal and revenge. I've created a monster, and I'm not sure I can control where it goes from here. Friday morning brings consequences I hadn't anticipated. I'm barely awake when Mick calls, his voice tight with anger. "You need to get down here now. What's wrong? Just get here." The gym looks like a crime scene when I arrive. Someone spray-painted "wife beater" across the front window in red letters. The word "stalker" decorates the sidewall in black. Mick stands in the parking lot with a bucket of soapy water, scrubbing at the graffiti with the kind of controlled fury that means someone's about to get hurt. When did this happen? Sometime after midnight. Mrs. Chen next door heard voices but didn't see who did it. I grab a scrub brush and start working on the side wall. The paint's fresh enough that it comes off with effort, but the message is clear. Someone's trying to make this personal. "Any idea who?" Mick stops scrubbing and looks at me. "You really have to ask? Your little song's got people picking sides and not everyone's on yours." He's right. I pull out my phone and check the latest comments on "So Brave." The narrative's shifting. What started as support for a wronged husband is turning into criticism of public humiliation. Someone's posted a long thread about emotional misuse and how men use social media to control women. Sarah speaks up. "This is textbook harassment. Using a platform to shame your ex is harmful and controlling behavior, no matter what she did." Women support women. "Cheating is wrong. But this public destruction is worse. He's trying to ruin her career and her life. At Local Advocate, men who can't handle rejection always go nuclear. This is why women are afraid to leave bad marriages. The comments have hundreds of likes each. Someone's organizing a counter-narrative and they're good at it. This is Jules, I tell Mick. She's orchestrating this. Does it matter? Damage is damage. He's right again, but knowing the source helps me understand the strategy. Jules isn't just defending her friend, she's going on the offensive, turning me from wronged husband into a controlling ex, making Melissa the victim of a vindictive man who can't accept rejection. My phone buzzes with a call from Tommy at the cab company. Boss, we got problems. Someone's posting fake reviews online, saying our drivers are unsafe, that you're unstable. We've had 3 cancellations this morning. The attack is coordinated and professional. Hit my reputation, my business, my friend's business. Make the cost of revenge higher than I'm willing to pay. But they don't know me very well. I spend the next hour documenting everything. Screenshots of the fake reviews, photos of the graffiti, timestamps showing when the counter-narrative started gaining traction. Then I start making calls. Detective Ward at the city police knows me from the old days when Dad ran the cab company. He's used our cars for undercover work, knows we run a clean operation. David, I heard about your situation. Sorry about the marriage. Thanks, but that's not why I'm calling. Someone vandalized my friend's business, and they're posting fake reviews to hurt my company. I think it's coordinated harassment. You got proof? I'm putting together a file, but I wanted to give you a heads up in case this escalates. Smart. Send me what you have. I'll see what I can do. Next call goes to my lawyer, Janet Morrison. She handled Dad's estate and knows the cab business inside and out. Janet, I need advice on cyber harassment and defamation. This about that song everyone's talking about? You heard it? David, my teenage daughter played it for me. Said it's all over school. You've stepped in it pretty deep. Someone's trying to destroy my business over it. Then we need to talk. Come in this afternoon. By noon, the graffiti's gone, and I've filed police reports on the vandalism and fake reviews. But the damage to my reputation is spreading faster than I can contain it. Aiden calls while I'm driving to the lawyer's office. We need to meet. This is getting crazy. No kidding. Where? Studio. 1 hour. The recording studio feels different this time. Less like a creative space, more like a bunker. Aiden's pacing when I arrive, running his hands through his hair repeatedly. They're trying to destroy me, he says without preamble. Someone leaked that I've been sleeping with married women. Plural. Made it sound like I'm some kind of predator who targets wives. Are you? What? No. Melissa's the only married woman I've been with, and I didn't know she was married? But they made it sound like a pattern. They made it sound like I run some kind of home wrecking service. My booking agent dropped me. The club canceled my weekend gigs. I sit down on the studio couch, suddenly feeling very tired. Jules is good at this. Jules? Melissa's best friend, she runs a PR firm. This is what she does. Manages narratives, controls stories. She's turning us into the villains. Aiden stops pacing. So what do? We fight back, but we do it smart this time. I pull out my phone and show him the documentation I've been gathering. The timeline of fake reviews, the coordination of the counter-narrative, the professional language used in the attacks. This isn't organic backlash. This is a campaign, which means it has weaknesses. Like what? Like the fact that Jules is using her professional resources for personal business. Like the fact that she's creating fake accounts to post fake reviews. Like the fact that she's probably billing Melissa's law firm for work that's actually personal reputation management. Aiden's eyes light up. You can prove that? I can try, but I need your help. What do you need? I need you to reach out to Melissa. Tell her you want to apologize, that you want to make things right. Get her to meet you somewhere public. Why? Because Jules will be there too. She won't be able to resist managing the situation. And when she does, I'll be ready. Saturday night at Rossetti's feels like stepping into a movie. The same restaurant where this whole mess started, now serving as the stage for what I hope will be the final act. I'm sitting at the bar nursing a beer, watching the corner table where Melissa and Aiden are having what looks like an intense conversation. Jules arrived 10 minutes after Melissa, just like I predicted. She's positioned herself at a table with clear sight lines to both the corner booth and the front door. Professional habits die hard. I've got a small recording device in my shirt pocket. Perfectly legal in this state as long as one party consents to the recording. I'm also streaming live to a private social media account that only Mick can see, just in case things go sideways. The conversation at the corner table is getting heated. Melissa's gesturing angrily while Aiden tries to look contrite. Right on schedule, Jules gets up and walks over to their table. Time to move. I slide off my bar stool and walk casually toward the restrooms, which happen to be located near their table. As I pass, I catch fragments of conversation. Completely out of control, Jules is saying. Never meant for it to go this far. That's Aiden. Destroy both of you if this doesn't stop. Melissa's voice sharp with anger. I duck into the men's room and wait exactly 90 seconds, then emerge and walk back past their table. This time I catch something more interesting. Already drafted the cease and desist letters. Jules again. Harassment charges if he doesn't take it down. Melissa. And make sure his business licenses get reviewed. Jules, confirming my suspicions about the coordinated attack. I return to my seat at the bar and order another beer. Watching their reflection in the mirror behind the bottles, Jules is clearly running the show, pointing at her phone and apparently outlining strategy. This is exactly what I hoped for. My phone buzzes with a text from Mick. Getting all this, Jules is digging herself deep. 20 minutes later, the three of them stand up to leave. Jules hugs Melissa goodbye and walks toward the front door. Perfect. I follow her outside, timing it so I catch up just as she reaches her car. Jules! She spins around, startled. David, what are you doing here? Having dinner, same as you. I smile pleasantly. Funny running into you, though. I was just thinking about our conversation. What conversation? The one we're about to have, about harassment campaigns and fake reviews and using your professional resources for personal vendettas. Her face goes carefully blank. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. You're good at this, Jules. Really good. The coordinated counter-narrative, the fake accounts, the strategic leak about Aiden's supposed pattern of behavior, professional-grade reputation management. You're paranoid. Maybe. Or maybe I'm just married to a lawyer who taught me how to document everything. I pull out my phone and show her a screenshot. Like this invoice from your PR firm to Melissa's law office, dated yesterday, for crisis communication services. Interesting that a law firm would need PR help right after their associate's personal life exploded on social media. Jules glances at the screenshot and her expression shifts slightly. That's confidential client information. How did you get it? Amazing what people will tell a cab driver, especially late at night when they think they're safe. I lean against her car casually. Your assistant talks too much when she's had a few drinks. Mentioned how you've been working overtime on some personal project for Melissa, how you've been creating social media accounts and managing online narratives. That's not illegal. No, but billing it to her law firm might be, especially if the partners don't know you're using company resources for personal business. Jules straightens up, trying to regain control of the conversation. What do you want, David? I want you to stop. The fake reviews, the harassment campaign, the coordinated attacks on my business and my friend's business. All of it. And if I don't? Then I send my documentation to the State Bar Association, your firm's partners, and the local business journal. Let them decide if using professional services to wage personal vendettas is ethical. She stares at me for a long moment, calculating odds and outcomes. You're bluffing. Am I? I pull up another screenshot on my phone. This is your assistant's Facebook post from 3 days ago. Quote, working late again on Jules' secret project. She's really going after some guy who messed with her friend. And, quote, posted at 11:30 p.m. from your office building, according to the location tag. Jules' face goes pale. That's not proof of anything. By itself, no. But combined with the invoice, the timeline of fake reviews, and the recording I just made of your conversation inside. I tap my shirt pocket. It paints a pretty clear picture of professional misconduct. You recorded us? That's illegal. Actually, it's not. One-party consent state. I'm allowed to record conversations I'm a party to. And since you were discussing strategies to harm my business, I'd say I was definitely a party to that conversation. Jules pulls out her phone, probably to call Melissa or maybe her lawyer. This is harassment. No, this is accountability. You started a war using professional tools. I'm just making sure there are professional consequences. She stops dialing and looks at me with something approaching respect. You're not as stupid as Melissa said you were. Melissa says a lot of things. Most of them turn out to be wrong. So what now? You want me to call off the dogs and pretend none of this happened? I want you to clean up your mess. Remove the fake reviews, stop the social media campaign, and tell whoever you've got spreading lies about me and Aiden to find a new hobby. And in return? In return, I don't destroy your career the way you tried to destroy my business. Jewel considers this for a moment, then nods slowly. Fine, but the song comes down. No deal. The song stays up. It's artistic expression, and everything in it is true. It's ruining Melissa's reputation. Melissa ruined her own reputation. The song just set it to music. Jules gets into her car without another word. I watch her drive away, then pull out my phone to call Mick. How do we do? Got everything. She basically confessed to running a harassment campaign using her company's resources. Think she'll back down? She's smart enough to know when she's beaten. The fake reviews will disappear by tomorrow, and the social media attacks will stop. And then what? Then we see what Melissa does when she doesn't have Jules running interference for her. I don't have to wait long to find out. Monday morning brings an unexpected visitor to my office. I'm reviewing dispatch schedules when Detective Ward knocks on my door. Got a minute, David? Sure. Coffee? Thanks. He settles into the chair across from my desk, looking tired. I've been looking into your harassment complaint. Interesting situation you've got here. Find anything useful? More than I expected. Those fake reviews you documented? They all trace back to accounts created from the same IP address. Belongs to a PR firm downtown. Jules Morrison Communications. That's the one. We also found evidence of coordinated harassment on social media. Multiple fake accounts, all created within a 48-hour window, all posting similar content attacking you and your friend. I lean forward. Enough for charges? Possibly. But here's the thing. The activity stopped completely on Saturday night. Like someone threw a switch. All the fake accounts went dormant, the review bombing stopped, even the social media attacks died down. Interesting timing, Ward grins. Yeah, right around the time you had that conversation with Miss Morrison in the Rossetti's parking lot. Funny how these things work out. You know about that? Restaurant has security cameras. Shows you two having what looks like a very serious discussion. Next day, all the harassment stops. Makes a man wonder what was said. I shrug. Just two people working out their differences. I'm sure. Ward finishes his coffee and stands up. Anyway, the harassment complaint is closed. Problem solved itself, apparently. After he leaves, I sit back in my chair feeling something I haven't felt in weeks. Control. The fake reviews are gone, the social media attacks have stopped, and Jules is keeping her head down. But I know this isn't over. Melissa's still out there, and she's not the type to accept defeat quietly. I don't have to wait long. Tuesday afternoon, she shows up at the cab company again. This time she's back in her power suit, hair perfect, makeup flawless. She looks like she's going to court, which probably means she is. We need to discuss terms, she says without preamble. What kind of terms? Divorce terms. I'm prepared to be reasonable. I gesture to the chair across from my desk. Define reasonable. She sits down and pulls out a folder. I keep the condo, you keep the business. We split the savings accounts 50-50. No alimony either direction. Generous, what's the catch? The song comes down, all copies, all platforms. You and Aiden sign non-disclosure agreements about our relationship. And if I refuse, Melissa's smile turns sharp. Then I file for divorce on grounds of mental cruelty and harassment. I claim you've been stalking me, recording me without consent, and using social media to destroy my reputation and career. Except, I haven't been stalking you. I didn't record you without consent, and your reputation destroyed itself. Doesn't matter what's true. Matters what I can prove in court. And I can afford better lawyers than you can. I study her face, looking for tells. She's bluffing, but she's good at it. 12 years of marriage taught her how to read me, but it taught me how to read her too. You're forgetting something, Melissa. What's that? I know all your secrets. Every client you've bad-mouthed, every corner you've cut, every lie you've told to win cases. You really want to go to war with someone who's been watching you operate for over a decade? Her confidence wavers slightly. You wouldn't. Try me. You want to play hardball? Let's play. But remember, I've got nothing left to lose. You've still got a career, a reputation, and partnerships to protect. We stare at each other across the desk. Two people who once promised to love each other forever, now calculating how much damage we can inflict. Finally, Melissa breaks the silence. What do you want, David? I want you to stop trying to control the narrative. Stop trying to make yourself the victim. Accept responsibility for your choices and live with the consequences. The song stays up. The song stays up. And Aiden? Aiden can speak for himself, but I'm guessing he's learned his lesson about married women. Melissa closes her folder and stands up. You've changed. No, I haven't. I just stopped pretending you were someone you're not. After she leaves, I call Aiden to give him a heads up about potential legal threats. The call goes straight to voicemail, so I drive over to his apartment. The building's one of those converted warehouses that tries too hard to look artistic. Exposed brick, industrial fixtures, and rent that's probably twice what the space is worth. I climb 3 flights of stairs and knock on his door. No answer. I try the handle and it turns. The door swings open to reveal an apartment that looks like it's been hit by a tornado. Furniture overturned, papers scattered everywhere, and a guitar with a broken neck lying in the middle of the floor. Aiden? I hear groaning from the bedroom. I find him sitting on the floor, back against the wall, holding a towel stained with red to his nose. What happened? Melissa happened. She brought friends. She did this? Not directly, but she was here when it happened. Watched the whole thing. I help him to the bathroom and get him cleaned up. His nose isn't broken, but he's going to have impressive bruises for a week. Tell me what happened. She came by around noon with 2 guys I'd never seen. Big guys, looked like they worked out for a living. Said she wanted to talk about taking down the song. And I told her the same thing you did, that it was staying up. That's when things got physical. I examine his apartment more carefully. The damage is thorough but controlled. Nothing actually destroyed beyond repair, just roughed up enough to send a message. You called the police? With what proof? She was here, but she didn't touch me. Her friends didn't say anything threatening. They just rearranged my furniture while I watched. This is escalation. She's getting desperate. Yeah, well, desperate people do stupid things. She left me something. Aiden hands me an envelope with my name on it. Inside is a single sheet of paper with a brief message. Last chance. Take it down or face the consequences. I look around the trashed apartment, then at Aiden's bruised face. Pack a bag. You're staying at my place tonight. I can handle myself. Really? How'd that work out today? He doesn't argue. That evening, we're sitting in my office planning our next move when Tommy sticks his head in. Boss, you got visitors. 3 of them, and they don't look friendly. Through the window, I can see a black SUV parked outside. 3 men in expensive suits are walking toward the front door. Back exit, I tell Aiden. Now. What about you? I'll handle this. Go. The front door chimes as they enter. I recognize the type immediately. Corporate security, probably ex-cops or ex-military. The kind of people who solve problems quietly and efficiently. The leader is a tall man with graying hair and the kind of calm confidence that comes from years of handling difficult situations. Mr. David Chen? Depends who's asking. My name is Richards. I represent certain interests that would prefer your recent artistic collaboration disappear from public view. Let me guess. Melissa hired you. My client prefers to remain anonymous, but they're prepared to make a generous offer for your cooperation. Richards pulls out an envelope and sets it on my desk. $50,000, cash. All you have to do is remove the song from all platforms and sign a simple agreement not to discuss your former relationship publicly. I don't touch the envelope. And if I refuse, then my client will be forced to pursue other remedies, legal remedies, business remedies, personal remedies. That sounds like a threat. It's an observation about the natural consequences of poor decision-making. I lean back in my chair, studying the 3 men. They're professionals, but they're also making a mistake. They think I'm just a cab company owner who got lucky with a viral song. They don't know about my documentation, my recording of Jules, or the fact that Detective Ward is expecting a call from me if anything unusual happens. Tell your client I'm not interested in her money. Richards nods like he expected this answer. That's unfortunate for everyone involved. They leave without another word, but the message is clear. Things are about to get much worse. I call Mick and tell him to close the gym early. Then I call Detective Ward and give him a heads up about my visitors. Finally, I call Janet Morrison and tell her to expect trouble. By midnight, I'm sitting alone in my office with a baseball bat across my lap, waiting to see what Melissa's next move will be. I don't have to wait long. Wednesday morning arrives with sirens. I wake up on the couch in my office to the sound of fire trucks and the smell of smoke. Through the window, I can see flames bursting from the roof of Mick's gym 3 blocks away. By the time I get there, the fire department has the blaze under control, but the building is a total loss. Mick stands on the sidewalk in his pajamas, watching 30 years of work turn to ash. "Insurance fire," he says, without looking at me. "Started in the electrical room. Very convenient timing." Detective Ward appears at my shoulder. "Arson investigators on the way, but it's going to be hard to prove anything. These things happen." "Like heck they do." "Maybe, but proving it's another matter." I pull out my phone and call the number Richards gave me yesterday. He answers on the first ring. "Mr. Chen, I trust you've reconsidered our offer. I want to meet with your client, face to face." "That's not how this works." "It is now. Tell Melissa I'll be at the courthouse steps at noon. She can bring her lawyers, her security, her whole darn army if she wants. But we're going to settle this today. Mr. Chen, tell her if she doesn't show, I'm calling a press conference and releasing everything. The recording of Jules, the documentation of the harassment campaign, photos of what her friends did to Aiden's apartment, and a timeline connecting yesterday's threats to this morning's convenient fire." I hang up before he can respond. At 11:30, I'm standing on the courthouse steps with a folder full of evidence and a live stream running on my phone. Aiden's beside me, still sporting bruises, but looking determined. Mick's there too, smelling like smoke and radiating the kind of quiet anger that makes smart people nervous. A small crowd is gathered. Word spreads fast in a city this size, especially when it involves the viral song that's been dominating local social media for weeks. At exactly noon, a Blacktown car pulls up and Melissa gets out. She's flanked by Richards and 2 other men in suits, followed by Jules and what looks like half her law firm's partnership. The crowd recognizes her immediately. Someone starts playing So Brave on a portable speaker. "Turn that off," one of her lawyers shouts. "Public property, public performance," I call back. "First Amendment." Melissa walks up the courthouse steps, her heels clicking like sharp cracks on the concrete. She looks perfect. Hair, makeup, clothes all flawless. But there's something desperate in her eyes. "You wanted to meet," she says. "Here I am. Here you are." I hold up my phone, showing the live stream viewer count. 3,000 people watching. Want to tell them about last night? "I don't know what you're talking about." "Sure you don't. Just like you don't know about Richards and his friends. Just like you don't know about the fire at Mick's gym." "Fires happen, David. It's not my fault your friend didn't maintain his electrical system." The crowd murmurs. Someone in the back shouts, "Tell the truth." I open my folder and pull out the first document. This is a recording of your friend Jules admitting to running a coordinated harassment campaign using her company's resources. Jules steps forward. "That recording was obtained illegally." "No, it wasn't. One-party consent state, remember? I was part of the conversation." I hold up another document. "This is documentation of fake reviews posted from your company's IP address. And this is your assistant's Facebook post bragging about the secret project you were working on." Melissa's lawyer whispers something in her ear. She shakes her head. "And this," I continue, pulling out photos, "is what Aiden's apartment looked like after your friends visited yesterday." The crowd's getting louder. More people are arriving, drawn by the spectacle. Someone set up a second speaker, and now So Brave is playing in stereo. "What do you want?" Melissa shouts over the music. "I want you to tell the truth, right here, right now, in front of everyone." "About what?" "About the affair, about the harassment campaign, about trying to destroy my business and my friend's business because you couldn't handle the consequences of your own choices." Melissa looks around at the crowd, at the cameras, at the lawyers whispering urgently in her ear. For a moment, I think she might actually do it. Might actually take responsibility for once in her life. Instead, she turns and starts walking back toward the car. "That's what I thought," I call after her. She stops, turns around, walks back up the steps until she's standing directly in front of me. "You want the truth, David? Here's the truth. I cheated on you because our marriage was dead. I posted about it online because I was tired of pretending to be happy. I hired professionals to protect my reputation because you tried to destroy my career over a personal matter." The crowd goes quiet. "And yes, I had your friend's gym burned down because you wouldn't listen to reason, because you kept pushing and pushing until someone had to push back." The silence stretches for 5 seconds, 10, 15, then someone in the crowd starts laughing, then someone else, then everyone, because Melissa just confessed to arson on a live stream being watched by 5,000 people. Richards grabs her arm and starts pulling her toward the car, but it's too late. The damage is done. Detective Ward steps out of the crowd. Apparently, he's been watching the whole time and walks calmly toward the town car. Melissa Chen, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit arson. The crowd erupts. Cameras flash. The live stream viewer count hits 10,000. I watch my wife of 12 years get handcuffed and placed in the back of a police car, and I feel nothing. No satisfaction, no revenge, no closure. Just emptiness where anger used to be. Jules tries to slip away in the chaos, but Detective Ward's partner is waiting for her too. Jules Morrison, you're under arrest for harassment and conspiracy. Richards and his security team disappear like smoke. Smart money knows when to cut its losses. The crowd starts to disperse, but the live stream keeps running. Local news crews are arriving, drawn by the social media buzz. By evening, this will be national news. By tomorrow, it'll be a cautionary tale about social media and revenge, and the dangers of trying to control narratives in the digital age. Aiden puts his hand on my shoulder. It's over. Yeah, it's over. Mick joins us, still smelling like smoke, but grinning for the first time in days. Insurance will cover the gym. Might even be able to build it back better. Good. You deserve better. I turn off the live stream and put my phone away. The courthouse steps are empty now, except for us and a few stragglers taking selfies where Melissa was arrested. So what now? Aiden asks. Now we go back to our lives. You make music, I run cabs, Mick builds a new gym. The song stays up because it's still true. And the truth doesn't go away just because it's inconvenient. And Melissa? Melissa gets to live with the consequences of her choices, just like the rest of us. We walk down the courthouse steps together. 3 men who learned the hard way that revenge is a dish best served with documentation and a live audience. Behind us, So Brave is still playing on someone's phone, echoing off the courthouse walls like a ghost of everything that's happened. Some women stay for convenience, not love. Some men stay for revenge. But some stories end exactly the way they should.